Aloha! Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Love What with Audrey Weilai, where I ask my friends and mentors what non-romantic love means to them. And today I am so honored to have Wayan as my guest. Aloha, Wayan.
Aloha, Om Swastiastu. Good morning from Bali.
Wow. Can you tell us a little about yourself?
My name is Wayan. I'm born in a village called Taro 40 something years ago. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
now I feel very blessed that I was born in the middle of a village with full of love by our family and relatives, and we didn't
Mm-hmm.
have electricity for 12 years.
Wow. What was that like?
It's so romantic in a way if I look back now,
Yes.
because we have only natural lights. So light is very limited. So all we could afford is like oil lamp and kerosene at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the evening it's full of natural lights, the moon, the stars, and the fireflies. So those
Mm.
are wonderful experience that still stay with me for a very long time.
Yeah, I personally really love Fireflies. The last time I wrote a poem was when I was driving in Pennsylvania and I saw fireflies and I pulled over to the side of the road. It was in the middle of nowhere at night and I just started writing a poem and words just flowed. And I'm wondering what projects you're doing to help increase the fireflies population in Tara.
Same with you. I think most of us, in fact, amazed every time we see the fireflies. They are full of magic. They are full of wonder. They're full of love, and it's bring us in a sense of connections closely to nature, to the biodiversity. I think that's what inspired me to do the
Yes.
project, bring back the lights, basically maintaining the fireflies and possibly increase its population so that our future generation can see these beautiful illuminating lights glow of the fireflies.
Can you say a little more? Because it's a very unique project you're doing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So based on that childhood memories, I would say, and I still strongly remember how those experiences were, especially a kid live in the middle of a village where we have so much limited to lights, and then there is this free glowing lights everywhere, right? So we used to
Yes.
collect them in the miniature and use them as a light. So that's
Mhm.
what inspired me the most. Nowadays, we don't see as many fireflies as before. So just to imagine that our children's growing up and not seeing the fireflies is kind of make me sad, because
Mm.
many places where I used to see them a lot, they're no longer there, and many places where I used to collect them, I barely see them. So that's
Mm.
number one. And then number two, as you know, in Bali, we have so rich in culture and
Yes.
spiritual practices on our daily life, and fireflies has a strong connection to it. It is considered to be the presence of our ancestors. It talks a lot about karma. It's a reminder that we always be kind to each other, to be connected to the environment. And fireflies also considered to be the guide of the soul. So it's a symbol of
Mm.
wisdom, symbol of knowledge. But I realized all this quite on a later stage of my life.
Mhm.
So, but now I understand how this impact of the fireflies experience when I was little
Yes.
very well, aligned very well with our spiritual and with our belief system here in Bali. So that's what makes them perfectly aligned. And that's what also pushed me to learn more about the fireflies from the scientific perspective. And that's also when I struggle, find challenges. There were not so many research about the fireflies, so the reference is very little. And this what brings me to the next journey at Bring Back the Light project, is that we not only doing make any efforts to preserve the populations of the fireflies by protecting its natural habitat, but also to learn deeper. about the fireflies from the scientific perspective. So that's why I now bringing in researchers, young scientists on board
Yes.
to get understand deeper about the fireflies. Not only help the repopulations program, but also the opportunity how we can publish an article, journals, or any scientific evidence about the fireflies and what's happening that makes them disappear, and what we as a human being possibly do better to
Mm-hmm.
make them to preserve their natural habitats, to preserve their populations, and possibly increase their population. So it's quite a very unique blend of childhood memories,
Yes.
and then it has a spiritual touch coming a bit later, but then there is an opportunity in a scientific. So this three combination what makes our project unique, because it's not just fully a scientific effort, but it is there is a spiritual guidance there, a spiritual belief there that drives our purpose. But it's all about co-creating those beautiful childhood memories. So I think that's what makes this project so beautiful, and I love doing it.
Yes, I've been to Bali twice, and when my friends ask me what was the best moments in Bali, and I tell them it was the moments I shared with you and the scientists that bring back the light and seeing fireflies blinking among the rice field and the palm trees.
Wow.
Yes, you found out there are two types of fireflies. What are they?
I didn't have the records, but basically we identify them from their habitats. Just to give us all a perspective, there are more than 2,000 fireflies, and it's just being
Okay.
confirmed by the IUCN specialist study group. More than 2,600 fireflies have been identified globally.
Wow.
Since we don't really started with the scientific baseline, so we don't know much about it yet. But
Mm,
right now we are looking into two big habitats, which is the dry land, we call it terrestrial
mm,
type of fireflies, and then the wetland or water-based fireflies. In our area is more to semi-aquatic, they are not fully aquatic. So based on these two habitat, we identify two different behaviors, two different durations of their life cycles, and two different habitat that we need to focusing on differently. And so we just blessed receiving one of the well-known fireflies researchers in the world, specifically in Southeast Asia, Dr.
mm.
Wan Jusok. So
Okay.
she not only visiting us, and she also giving us guidance how we record this precious data. So then when it's time to do the analytic about the lifespan, the life cycle, we can do it systematically,
Mm.
because nobody have done it before in Indonesia yet. So we are very grateful to have this precious guidance. And then she even willing to take the journey all the way to Denpasar to Udayana
Mm,
University to borrow a lab. So Dr. Wan needs to confirm their genome, their
mm.
species, and we don't have the equipment. So we went to University of Udayana in Denpasar to dissect the fireflies, confirm their genome. So we found five genomes. To be honest, it is very difficult
Wow.
to pronounce. I will the details and the name. It's
Okay.
scientific, so it's yeah, and it's also beyond my dreams. One of my dream is to meet researchers or expert of
Hmm.
fireflies. So we not only meet them, but they help us identify. But of course there are further research to do it, because he's expert in tropical fireflies, especially in Southeast Asia. And as you know, Bali and Malaysia have a similar climate in general.
Hmm.
So most of
Yes.
the genome are similar, but to get into a species level, we get to do an advanced research. And I think that's also the next opportunity where Dr. Wan, as an expert in fireflies, can help us identify with her students so that we have a better understanding about their species, because it will reflect their
Mm.
behavior, especially the light patterns that they are producing.
Yes.
because
Okay.
with so many different species of fireflies, they only mate with their own species. So it is also
Oh,
very
okay.
to understand their species, their behavior, so that they can find their love, to find their mates to reproduce. So again, it is getting more and more interested on this
Mm,
scientific area of the fireflies in our
mm.
project now.
So exciting. What are the fireflies teaching you about what is love and what is non-romantic love? What does it mean for you?
It's a lot. To be honest with you, I wish I knew it earlier. I would have do much more in our life. But I'm very grateful, even though it is half of my. I would say this probably half of my lifespan if we're using from the fireflies perspective. But what I'm trying to say that fireflies teaches us so much love.
Mm,
One, love to ourselves, because without knowing yourself, without knowing your purpose in life, you
mm,
lost ship in the sea, right? You don't have a direction,
mm.
you don't have energy, you don't have a direction where you want to aim. So the journey of finding the species of a fireflies, it's like a journey to finding, to me it's like a journey to finding the lights within me, like how the fireflies already glow from the larval stage. Most of them didn't realize that, and so it's giving me like a reflection. We wait
Mm,
until it a certain stage that we want to show our lights, but it has already
mm.
been there.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's like to me the biggest impact the fireflies teaches me is we have that lights, we have that purpose, we have that sense of goals, why we are here.
Mm,
So
mm.
that's, I think, is a great metaphor, like we should learn from the fireflies, because one of their purpose is to find their lights, so using that lights for
Yes.
mates, right, to give to
Mhm,
others. So
mm,
then a new baby born, a new creation
mm.
emerge. And then not just that, we giving beauties. We are giving so much lights to this environment, not just for ourselves,
Yes.
but to
Mm,
also to the environment, to ourselves. So I think the first lesson learned is to love ourselves, to find that lights, to find that
mm.
sense of purpose. And after that, then we give this light to the people around you, to the environment around you. And I think that's what it is make so relevant with the Balinese guiding principle called Trihita Karana. Because once you know
Yes.
your purpose, once you find that inner light within you, then you start realizing that you are just basically one particles in this big
Mm,
uh, cosmic universe. We are being
mm.
part of it. That's why we have to play part of it. So you need to love yourself first. You need to find your purpose first. Then you can give that love and then spread through the people around you, and
Yes.
then to the nature around you, and then that's where you have that sense of spirituality, harmony
Mm,
to God, harmony to people, and harmony to nature, as we call it,
yes.
Trihita Karana in Bali. So
Mm,
again, it's truly a magical kind of spiritual enlightenment for me, that
yes.
this tiny little project takes me in so much deeper purpose, because it's
Mm,
not just about saving species, bugs that glow at night, but it's
mm,
about saving that opportunity, saving the environment, and then also saving culture and all of this, the local wisdom and beliefs that our previous generation inherited to us. Yeah, so it's a
that's
journey of
beautiful.
enlightenment, I would say.
That's great. I can imagine it's been rewarding, but also challenging at times to have an organization like this when it was really difficult. What kept you going?
I have all the reason actually to quit and to stop, looking at my background and how I started it, because it's nobody have done it before, at least in Indonesia, that we can follow. So, and it's really challenging. I think that's also the reason why scientists not so very difficult to do this. But despite of all odds, I always find that one purpose, one reason to continue, which is making sure that our future generation can see the fireflies.
Hmm.
And this purpose is actually giving me the energy, to take all the challenges and continue doing it. I always have that purpose, that making sure that our future generation, especially in this context, is my children, because I
Yes.
remember how beautiful they are. So I want to make sure that my children's are growing up and see the fireflies.
Yeah.
Knowing the fact that the fireflies is actually a bio indicator for a healthy environment, it makes me even more excited, because I have the opportunity not to only making sure they see the fireflies, but they live in a healthy environment. So that what
Mm,
also make me continue doing it, despite
yes.
all the challenges that I'm facing. Yeah.
Yes. And to help the fireflies near where you are, you're also educating farmers nearby to how to farm without using pesticides. How is that going?
Yes, correct. So now we get into the conclusion that we have to do two things. As much as we try to bring back the light of the fireflies, we're learning deeper and deeper how we possibly rear and breed them in a more
Hmm.
success rate. So
Mhm.
we do that in our lab with our scientists. But more than ever, it is very important to protect its natural habitat, which is mostly in the agriculture area. As you
Yes.
know, Bali's demand on natural resources to cater this hospitality and tourism sectors is so high.
Yes.
It brings into habitat loss, and it brings development, and it comes with light. So the artificial light at night now, on the contrary, is become the pollutions for the fireflies. So that is why now we work with the local farmers around our area, not just to reduce the use of chemical in their agriculture practices, but also to not introduce any light in their farmland as much as possible. So that's why our success is depending on everyone's support. In this case, the farmers, to reduce the use of chemical, because it is what contaminating their ecosystem of the fireflies, both in the wetland area, the rice paddies, and then the terrestrial or the dry land agriculture area. So to make sure that we contribute for this effort, so we create a facilities where we produce our own natural fertilizer. We make our own compost. We
Yes.
also make our own biopesticides
Yes.
using natural plant-based and herbs to prevent the bugs and all these pests in our agriculture. But our
Mm.
mindset is how we create a fertile, healthy soil, so that whatever we can grow is supporting that plants. And if we do that, so we have a good quality of water, we have a
Yes.
good quality of soil, and that's the habitat for the fireflies.
That's wonderful. And for tourists that go visit Bali, and there are a lot of them, how can we be respectful to the Balinese?
To be to be honest, Audrey, I was a part of those horrible experience, because
What did you do, Wayan?
like most Balinese, I also work in tourism industry for a
Yes.
very long time. But I work for hotels, resorts, and I'm contribute of creating this damage. And that's when I now. So this is when I realized that it is time now to do the opposites, to contribute. But yeah, so I hear you clearly that the tourists coming to Bali, they see only a certain part of Bali, which is not fully. So I
Yes.
think that what makes your visit to Bali special, because you have the opportunity to get deeper into
Mm.
the heart of Bali, meeting the village people like me, see the real people in our village, meet the farmers, meet my mother who still traditionally make coconut oil and all this. And this is Bali, and
And your father making
my
the
father
palm
that still
sugar,
climb the
climbing
tree
trees.
to make the palm sugar. And this is us, this is Bali, and I'm happy to being continue like this. So that's why we create this ecotourism program at Bring Back the Light, is not only to share about the Balinese culture, principles, and so on, but also to expose them to much deeper perspective, like how we as a Balinese taught to be in harmony with nature, to be harmony with people, and then also maintain our spiritual connection to God. And I mean, there are so many places need to discover if you're willing to get deeper into much more rural Bari area. And I think that's keeps the secret, keeps the precious part of Bali has to offer, which is the nature that is untouched by big resorts development. You will meet very unique culture, traditions that they do it as part of their way of life, and you will
Yes.
meet an authentic, original Balinese people that
Mm.
happy to greet you, expecting nothing in return.
Yes. Yes, I felt so much kindness when I went to Bali, and that's why I went back the second time. People were so lovely.
Thank you, Audrey, and looking forward to see you more many, many times.
Yes, yes. And how can people support your projects and help with the fireflies and environment for those of us that are not in Bali?
Well, one of our campaign is raising awareness. The world of a fireflies is totally the opposite, different world that we are living as a human being, where we use so much light at night to support and continue our activities. Fireflies, on the opposite, need dark environments so that they can use their beautiful light to communicate and find mates. So it is also very important to use just a good amount of light. And if we don't use them, we better switch it off, not just for the fireflies, but also for the climate, because we are saving the energy. And then two, be mindful with the use of chemicals, because to be honest, we don't know what they can do to contaminate the quality of air, water, and soil, because it is will eventually impact a bigger ecosystem,
Yes.
the microorganism, the living creatures in the soil and the water, which is also part of the ecosystem of the firefly. So synthetic chemical basically contributes to the damage of the quality of the soil, the quality of the water. It is very helpful to be mindful for what we
Yes.
use, including the trash. So and then number three, just be wild, be adventurous. You just go where you don't see on the list where you must visit in Bali. To
Yes.
your surprise, you will meet lots of germs. You don't have to worry
Mm,
about safety, because we won't harm you. But what I'm trying to say, if you visiting Bali and then if you have unplanned programs, you can just visit randomly any village. You will find the beautiful germs living there. And
mm.
if you are interested about our initiative, you can check our website. It's called bringbackthelight.com.
Yes, that's beautiful. Is there anything else you would like to share before we wrap up?
Bali is very unique, Audrey, in so many ways. It has a
Yes.
beautiful nature. We have inherited with such profound wisdom through our cultures and ritual. And Balinese people is now exposed with international and global citizenships. So in many, many ways, it also brings Balinese into a new directions. So I think whomever visiting Bali, by all means, please visit our beautiful beaches, the cafes, the hotels and resorts. But I think the community also worth attention, because that's the real Bali. And by visiting the rural area, the communities, and supporting so many projects that is community based, and I
Yes.
think that's how people can support the existence of Bali in a very authentic and traditional way.
Thank you so much, Wayan. Suksama.
Thank you, Audrey. Thank you for allowing me to share about the project and Bali in general. It's so nice meeting you.
Nice to see you too. I hope to see you in Bali again.
Yes. Until then, we'll keep in
Yeah.
touch. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Aloha.
Aloha. Om Santi, Santi, Santi Om.